Hey viewers, welcome to another episode of Hi ELO. And this is the Casual Pro Gamer. I'm commenting on a game of Team Solo Mid against OGB, I think they're called. And well, I mainly did this because it was made by Imaqtpie, who's playing Vayne. And today I want to do some Vayne games. So we're going to see how Vayne plays, if we can actually say that she's a good champion or that she's not. Um, Starting with the bottom team, we see Irelia, who is kind of tanky, Rumble, who's kind of tanky, and then we have Soraka being an excellent support. And, we have both Vayne and Nocturne being the carries of this team, and both of them are physical damage, so that might give us them a problem later on, because I'm obviously not playing here. Then the top team has Nunu as tank, and then mainly Malzahar, Ashe, and Teemo as carries, which is a nice spread of AP and AD. And then they have Janna as a support character. So I think that Team Solo Mid, being the opponents here, have a better team composition, but we will have to see. I haven't seen the game, obviously, otherwise I would have been able to say who had the better team composition. But it doesn't mean that you actually win with a better team composition, because, uh, you can always make gameplay mistakes. And gameplay mistakes cost you a lot more than your team composition does. So, we're going to see them gearing up for the level 1 fight here. The level 1 fight, not necessarily a good plan for this team. They do have a fairly decent composition early on, but it's not the best. Then again, the enemy team, they don't really have a lot of damage early on, but they do have Nunu, who has a great slow, and then they have Ashe, who probably has the volley, so that she can poke a lot. And Janna, who has it's not a stun, it's it's a throw up in the air kind of thing. So I guess they're pretty strong level 1. But I'm not sure about the damage they can do in the early game. And they're going to steal the raids of the enemy, which is an excellent way to start for a jungler. And Vayne is going bottom lane. So Soraka is healing up the jungler just to make him a little more comfortable in the jungle, and is then going to bottom lane to help out. Probably going to help a little bit with the blue. And indeed. So we'll see how she does in lane, and we'll see how she does in the later game. So I know from experience that in the early game she has a big advantage damage wise, so she does a lot of damage. And late game I'm not so sure. I'm not sure if she actually needs to be fed to do some damage. Oh, sorry, I thought the camera would still be locked, but it's not. So Ashe, as you can see, taking a lot of damage from simple auto attacks, with the tumble, and the tumble does 42 bonus damage, which is about 60% of the attack damage. I don't know. I think so. Oh, 55. Okay. I wasn't done reading the skills yet. But the tumble seems to be one of the main sources of damage early on. And that's why it's getting leveled up. So now it's 60%. And the silver bolts is the true damage. It is yeah, it is very strong. So it's at level 1, 30 plus 4% of the target's maximum health. That's a lot as true damage. So for Ashe, that would be she has 600 life, so that's hang on, 24 plus 30 is 54 damage, true damage. So that's quite a lot, considering that she normally has an armor of 24% reduced damage. So you just negate that armor. And it's going to, of course, scale up for tanks, and because, well, they don't have the 24% reduced damage, they are going to have like 50% or 60% reduced damage. Anyway, in lane, she seems to push the lane at the moment a little bit. Wow, that was a lot of damage coming out of that. And yeah, since they don't have a Soraka, Ashe is probably going to have to go home at some point. Oh, she still has 4 health potions remaining, so she might be okay for now, but she has to stay away from the enemy team. So the odd one is Nunu coming in to gank here, not being successful, and that was mainly because the Ashe needed to stay back, and yeah, well, because the Ashe had to stay back, there wasn't a lot of damage done, and of course, well, there was an excellent flash from Imaqtpie to get out of the way of the tornado or the howling gale of Janna. So not being stunned or whatever it's called the second time. Well, the first time wasn't actually stunned, was a slow from Nunu. But by doing so, actually escaping with ease. And going tumble and condemn here. Condemn is the one, yeah, where you can actually stun your target. So far I've seen people only go Q and W or max them first and then just one level in E, because all you want to do is get the stun off, and or just knock someone back if he's chasing you. But yeah, well, the first time I'm seeing someone level up the E, which is good because it gives us some more insight in what it would do if we level up something else instead of the standards. So again, Ashe getting the worst of the damage here, even though she had a full wave of minion support, and yeah, there is no support in this lane. So if there was support in this lane, Soraka would be totally healing up Vayne, and Ashe would be even further behind. So last hits then, let's have a look at that. It's 46 against 28. So yeah, as you can see, the Ashe has to stay away a little bit to prevent from being killed. But she's doing okay, I guess. I mean, she's behind on the minion kills, obviously, but she hasn't been killed. She still can keep up with the items. She cannot keep up with the levels. I mean, Imaqtpie has been, is now level 7. I wanted to say has been level 6 for quite a while, and Ashe is still level 5. So apparently losing some XP at some point. And unfortunately, this doesn't make a huge difference in this game. which is kind of sad to me. Because I would like to see that 2 levels of difference, or in the case of Sona, 4 levels of difference, would make a huge impact, or a huge difference at least. But for now, it's just how strong your skills are, and a little bit about how much your health is and your regen and things like that. But mainly, it's a matter of skills and not so much damage. Unless you're like 12 levels behind, and then of course you don't have any chance. But then again, if you're that many levels behind, you're probably not going to have the gold to afford all your items. You're going to need to compete. And the items are more a problem, so the gold is more a problem than the levels. And I would like to see more of an yeah of a when you can create a level difference between you and your opponent in lane, it should have more of an impact on your laning, I think. Because then the game becomes a little more skill based, and that would be good. Because then the better player always wins. In a purely skill based game, the better player always wins, or in this case, the better team. And in League of Legends, that's definitely not the case. Especially if you consider that there's a dodge and a critical strike and things like that. So getting a kill on not an easy kill, but a kill on Janna. Sorry, I totally blanked on the name there. And almost killing Ashe